We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Searching for old treasures, blowing off the dust. Timeless stories and legendary characters. This is Talking Movies. Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome back to another Talking Movies. So today, written by Roger Spotswood, Larry Gross, Stephen E. D'Souza, Walter Hill, and directed by him, the 1982 movie 48 Hours, starring Nick Nolte as Jack Cates, Eddie Murphy as Reggie Hammond, Annette O'Toole as Elaine, Frank McRae as Hayden, James Remar, who you may remember from The Warriors as Gans, David Patrick Kelly, also from The Warriors, as Luther, Sonny Lanham also played a part in The Warriors as Billy Bear, Brian James as Kehoe, and the list goes on from there. So the story centers around cop and tough guy Jack Cates, who's the only survivor of a cop shooting, and in hunting down the murderer, collects Reggie Hammond from jail for 48 hours because Hammond is oddly motivated to help him. See, the killer is searching for his stash of cash, which apparently Hammond knows something about. So Cates and Hammond, who have the black-white cop-crook thing to work out, make surprisingly good partners as they navigate through the city looking for their suspect. Now, of course, this movie having Eddie Murphy, and you know it's going to have some comedy in it, and this is a very good one. But it has a certain levity of realism to it too, with stakes that are actually present. And there's a certain playoff that Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy perform throughout this movie that just makes this movie absolutely hilarious. There are some scenes in here that, you know, they just toe the line of being borderline ridiculous, but actually still stay partly grounded in reality because you can actually see people behaving this way. So, on some of the side notes, James Remar often went without any sleep before shooting his scenes in order to give bad guy Gans a more washed-out, psychotic look. And according to Nolte in Nick Nolte No Exit 2008, most of the dialogue between him and Eddie Murphy was improvised. Here's a funny one for you. According to Eddie Murphy, he was almost fired for not being funny. He said he was not made aware of this until after the movie had wrapped up. Eddie Murphy states in his 2008 biography special that his character's name was originally scripted to be Willie Biggs. He had concerns with that name as it sounded too much like a Hollywood made-up black guy's name. He suggested the last name Hammond based on a raspy-voiced cool kid from his hometown named Terrence Hammond. Reggie was a compromise by having just the first name be a typical Hollywood made-up black guy name. Now, the movie during the late 1970s was originally designed as a vehicle for Clint Eastwood as the cop and Richard Pryor as the con. Around this time, Eastwood wanted to play a criminal and turned down the film and went and starred as a convict in Escape from Alcatraz, 1979. The picture then went into turnaround for a time and didn't come back into development for another couple of years. And believe it or not, Richard Pryor was not the first choice. Gregory Hines was the first choice to play Reggie Hammond, but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts with the Cotton Club 1984. In fact, Eddie Murphy later confessed that he was the fourth or fifth choice for the part. Other actors considered for the role included Richard Pryor, the late Howard E. Rollins Jr., and a young Denzel Washington. Side note, the band of Romans is the Bus Boys. who in real life would open for Eddie Murphy's comedy concerts. During breaks in filming, Murphy would join the band for a musical number and ham it up. Reggie's line to Jack, "Forget this, man. We ain't brothers, we ain't partners, and we ain't friends," is repeated by Zeus to McCain in Die Hard with a Vengeance. And as far as other casting goes, Mickey Rourke, Sylvester Stallone, and Burt Reynolds all turned down the role of Jack Cates. And as I mentioned earlier, David Patrick Kelly, who also starred in The Warriors in 1979, which was also directed by Walter Hill. Well, in case you didn't realize, his name was Luther in The Warriors as well. Another side note on the casting, Chris Christopherson was at one point considered for the role of Jack Cates. I don't know how well that would have turned out. Speaking more on casting, Sonny Landham, who played Billy Bear, well, obviously, he played Billy in the 1987 Predator film, along with being a nameless cop in The Warriors. The blue Cadillac that Jack Cates has in the movie, well, the funny thing is that blue Cadillac used in the movie is now owned by Vanilla Ice and fully restored and painted in silver. So the movie's promotional blurb started with the phrase, "The boys are back in town." Now, this was also the name of a song written specifically for the film. Now, the track was never released when the movie came out and was never available on CD until the year 2000. "The boys are back in town" wording was used as the main movie tagline for the film sequel, Another 48 Hours. Though the original song was heard at the end of the sequel, the track wasn't included on the sequel's album either. And another side actor who appeared not only here in 48 Hours, but also in The Warriors, since, well, it is Walter Hill, was Marcelino Sanchez. And apparently a road sign on a street lamppost reads EDDY for Eddie. Of course, if you haven't seen this movie, I would highly recommend it. This is a great movie to watch. It's got action, it's got comedy, it's got a little bit of everything. Have you seen this movie? Do you remember this movie? Do you want to check it out now? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed what you've seen, go ahead and destroy that like button for me. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you've seen and heard, go ahead and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you all next time. Later, y'all.